While pandas are cute creatures, this one surely woke up from the wrong side of the bed today. It's a death match between our main character and the bear guy. The story begins with Hamada, a red-haired boy escaping from something strange, his expression horrified as though he had come into contact with a paranormal creature. As he approaches the end of an alley, Hamada becomes aware of an invisible thing moving closer to him. The assailant eventually ends the poor boy's life. The following day, Kaname Sudo, a young man with coal-black hair, receives a text message from his friend Hamada inviting him to play Darwin's game, an online mystery game. As soon as he boots in, strange things occur, including a hallucination that a snake bit him on the neck. Then, a random deathmatch begins between him and Banda-Kun, a man costumed as the panda mascot. Fearful, Kaname runs to the police station to save himself, but the adversary is already there to assassinate him. Just as his final moments approach, Kyoda, his friend, and also a Darwin's game player, arrives on the scene, saving him just in time. He then begins to explain the game and the exceptional superpower known as Sigil to him. Once again in combat, Kaname puts up a valiant battle, but is bested until, by coincidence, Banda-Kun, who is invisible, is struck by a car and the bout is over. Banda-Kun's corpse eventually vanishes, leaving only a digitally altered form etched on the ground. While Kaname is engaged in combat, Kyda, whom Banda-Kun had cut, bleeds to death but gives Kaname a message to survive. His eyes start to tear up when he reads his friend's note. Elsewhere, a high-ranking player named Shuka Karino is intrigued by Kaname's triumph as the lone rookie player. She, a blonde twin-tail with crimson demonic eyes, attacks the poor boy. In the heat of the battle, Kaname uses his cleverness and skill to avoid her and activates his sigil, which allows him to copy any weapons he has already touched. He traps Shuka and forces her to give up. The two then spend the remainder of the evening on Shuka's property. Shuka asks Kaname to join a clan, a team of Darwin's game players that engage in combat and score points together. She advises him to spend some points to momentarily remove his name from the challenge list, explaining that many players in the game do so since victory points can be utilized as in-game currency or redeemed for actual money. Shuka and Kaname get a notice for the first event in Darwin's game, a treasure hunt in Shibuya that is only open to a select few individuals. Following a confrontation with a mysterious player named Inukai, who instructs them to keep his smartphone, the two split up and are transported to Shibuya's city center. Although only 300 rings are available, each of the 300 competitors must obtain at least 3 rings before the clock runs out to survive. Kaname meets Rain Kashiwagi, a middle school student known as the Analyst for her skill in obtaining and sharing information, including his location data, which allows Inukai to locate him. Kaname discovers that Wang, the head of the infamous clan etched, seizing Shibuya as their territory, is also taking part in the game in addition to himself, Rin, and Shuka. By the time he departs from his hotel room, over 10 players have been killed, and tall grass has blocked off floors from the 25th level below. When 4 players who chose to take the elevator show up, Rain predicts that Kaname won't utilize the elevator, and she turns out to be right. She believes that the florist, a character with the ability to command plants, is responsible for all this. They each construct machine guns to destroy as many cameras as possible while evading military capture. Kaname and Rain visit one of the auto-lock rooms after disabling many security cameras to hide and plan their next move. The CCTV that was damaged helped the florist determine where they were. On the other hand, Kaname and Rain set up a trap for the florist. Then, Kaname proceeds to engage in a combat with the florist, a middle-aged man whose real name is Ichiro Hiragi. The florist has impenetrable plant defenses, and Kaname initially loses due to the negative repercussions of overusing his sigil. However, Kaname has a vision of a man manufacturing weapons with forging equipment. Kaname reawakens, forsaking the pistol's toughness to create a machine gun capable of penetrating his defenses. Rain meets with Kaname again and informs him and Hiragi of the Eight's intention to break into the hotel and take all the rings. Alongside Rain, Ichiro, and Ryuji Maesaka, Kaname establishes a rogue clan while the Eights plan to attack the hotel. When Rain is getting ready for the coming of the Eights, she notices that the point values of the jewels do not equal the appraisal values, which makes her think that the objective might not just be to collect 3 rings. When Shuka faces Sui in the subway, whose sigil enables her to manipulate water, trapping Shuka below, she sends a distress signal to Kaname. Kaname and Ryuji depart for the subway, while Rain and Ichiro observe that each ring has a QR code that, when read, reveals a number. Kaname and Ryuji exchange sigil information, with Ryuji having the power to tell whether or not someone is lying. When the two encounter Sui, Kaname rushes into rescuing Shuka, while Ryuji challenges Sui. Sui, a youngster with two separate personalities, tricks Ryuji into falling into a trap at a convenience store. However, she immediately seizes Soda's body control to stop the attack, and later decides to join the clan. Kaname, in the meantime, gives Shuka his first kiss after saving him. Shuka states that she is participating in Darwin's game to get vengeance on a player for killing her parents. The four come together at a convenience store to learn more about Sui. The following set of rings, including the most precious prize, the diamond ring, is dispersed as darkness falls. Ichiro reveals that he is playing the game to support his daughter Suzune, who has a heart condition. As the 8 attack the hotel, Ichiro grasps the rings to use as bait and to aid the other clan members in concealing their position. After knowing the numbers, Rain uses the diversion to sprint towards Shibuya Station. Rain concludes that the figures stand for the actual prize's longitude and latitude. Ichiro battles Sig, whose pyrokinesis sigil significantly disadvantages him. Realizing his disadvantage, he tries to flee, but Keiichi attacks him. Ichiro sets up the trap, killing all the current 8s while using the sigil on himself to prolong his life. Meanwhile, Rain is caught by a member whose sigil allows him to sense her presence, while Wang's sigil allows him to teleport immediately ahead of her. Kaname takes Rain to a safe spot so she may learn the meaning of the cipher on the diamond ring, while Shuka, Sui, and Ryuji confront Wang and his crew. Rain learns that the code 185911 is related to the publication of The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. In the meantime, Ryuji is trying to maintain a distance between himself and Wang. He's struck from behind by Wang, who then uses his sigil to chop off his left hand. Despite Ryuji's awareness that Kaname is exaggerating, Kaname shows up as Wang is about to kill Ryuji and offers to give Wang the key that he claims would unlock the door to prosperity in exchange for his life. Ryuji reveals that Wang killed his brother and is seeking retribution. Kaname's bluff is successful. The code's secret is then revealed to be the number of digits. The reward is a phone call from the game's creator, who will grant Kaname one wish within their means. Kaname requests to quit the game, but he is told that in order to do so, he must either complete the game or kill the creator. Kaname would rather have anything that would make the game less violent. 2 months have passed by since the Shibuya bombing was categorized as a terrorist attack. A Darwin's game player and an insurance agent named Hideaki Kanehira pays Suzune a visit to the hospital. Rain assures Suzune that she is aware of what happened to her father. Kaname has been working out at the Danjo Boxing Club for the past 2 months. When Kaname's classmate and friend Shinozuka visits Kaname's apartment while he is gone, Keiichi, who managed to escape the hotel collapse disaster, kidnaps her from his apartment. Even though Kaname ultimately employs his sigil, Danjo seldom ever responds to any of Kaname's attacks by utilizing his sigil. The fight is then interrupted by Liu Shulan, one of the best players in Darwin's game, who uses her unique skill Killing Intent to make Kaname halt as he anticipates a possibly fatal hit from her to kidnap him. Insisting that Kaname take over as the leader of her assassin's clan, Shulan accompanies him on a trip in a limousine with her AD Shi Ming, but he declines. Meanwhile, the Sunset Ravens follow the limo in a Humvee. Shulan gives up as Shi Ming warns that Shuka would have killed her if the battle had continued. With the Sunset Ravens in control, Shulan agrees to join the group on the condition that Kaname is killed first. After learning that the 8th is hiding in a warehouse, Rain approaches Kotori of the Icy Crown clan to find out how the 8th is doing. The information is delivered to the warehouse by the Sunset Ravens in Inukai. The cops came to the site as well, but they are killed right away. In response to Kaname's request, Shuka enters Darwin's game using Shinozuka's smartphone, which has the application pre-installed. With his sigil, Shinozuka strikes back at the 8th, but he is helpless in the face of Wang. Inukai challenges Keiichi to a one-on-one battle as the Sunset Ravens begin their assault, disclosing that Keiichi was a martial arts prodigy who retired after unintentionally killing an opponent and found peace when Wang urged them to become a killer. When Kaname and Ryuji break into the warehouse to demand Wang release Shinozuka, they find him to be dismembered. Shinji of the 8th is ready to kill Kaname, but Kaname kills him instead and concludes that killing is necessary in this situation. After vowing to destroy the Sunset Ravens for their heinous actions, both within and outside the game, Kaname challenges the 8th to a clan war. Shuka engages in a one-on-one battle with Wang, while Kaname and Ryuji eliminate the remaining 8s. Wang uses a space warping sigil to assault, while Shuka uses her sigil to set up a wire trap that will capture his limbs. In a hasty attempt to escape, Wang teleports out of the building, but instead falls directly in front of Kaname, untimely losing the conflict. As soon as the 8th runs out of points, he and Keiichi depart. As Wang runs away, Kaname shoots him out of wrath over his parting remarks. After completing an assassination mission, the game master informs Oboro of Kaname's elevation. Shibuya is eventually taken over by the Sunset Ravens with ease, leaving behind just enough survivors to spread the message of fear that playing the game is forbidden on Sunset Ravens territory. And in the epilogue, we see a furious Kaname starting a hunting game inside a forest. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave us a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more.